So in this video, we are going to learn about gradients and how we can use them to control ribbons or create insane ribbons. Okay, so stick with me. This is Cool Graphics. If you're new here, kindly subscribe. Let's jump into this. So this one, let's create 1080 by 1350 pixels. Okay, let's click create. So sometimes you see these ribbon reels on Instagram or something, you know, they normally do them with products. So before you can actually go into that kind of product display, you simply have to understand how gradients work. Okay, I'm using Photoshop and I'm doing it in Photoshop. Okay, you may be having different software that you use for your designs, but I'm using Photoshop in here. So let's go over gradients in Photoshop, and after that I will show you the brush and then the clipping mask method. Very simple. So we can grab the rectangle tool in Photoshop. Okay, and if we create a rectangle like this, in the properties panel you can go to window, down here properties, it will show up here. Okay, we got the fill, we got the stroke. So this is the fill. You can pick a solid color for fill, or you can use the color picker. Okay, whatever that you want, you can choose. And when you click on the fill, we got gradient over here. This is the gradient. When you click on that, you know, gradient will be added, and you can, of course, this is the angle. Okay, you can change the angle, any angle that you want. All right, and this is from the properties panel. So you can have, or you can click this bar, this guy will pop up. Okay, you got the basics, and then under the basics, if you follow my tutorials, I'll always come and pick the first one, which is the foreground to background. What does that mean? It means that these two guys over here, the foreground is the gray and then the background is the white guy. So you can see it is from the gray to the white, and we got the foreground to transparent. That means the foreground color and it moves into transparent color. Okay, or transparency, so there will be no color over there. All right, it will take the color of the background. So you can also pick, you know, colors right from here like that. Good. So when it comes to gradients, it is very simple. So that's one way you cannot add a gradient on shapes like this from the properties. Okay, and if you want to make changes, you can go through the properties, or you can simply double click on the layer thumbnail and the gradient will come. Okay, pop up, and you just, but make sure you pick, before you can even double click on the layer thumbnail, whatever that you choose, whether you choose solid color. Okay, if you choose solid color, if you double click on the layer thumbnail, you have a solid color picker. If you pick gradient from the properties, when you double click, you then have the gradient fill. You can choose linear, radial, or angle, whatever, then you just change it from here. All right, good. So when it comes to gradient colors, and also, sorry, before I forget, we can go to the layer style. We go to FX, you go to blending options, and even though we have black to white gradient already applied, we can add gradient overlay over here, and it will take a different style. Okay, you can add another one on top. That is from the layer style. So with the layer style, you can just turn it off and you will have your original gradient added. Okay, so if you want, you can turn it back on. Okay, so that is few ways where you can get gradients. Okay, so if you check this gradient right here, let me help you create that. So in the FX, okay, under the FX, so we got a gradient, and if you click the gradient here, black. Okay, and here black, and you click the middle, you add another color stop. When you click that, you can choose, you know, a gray, dark gray color to get that type of gradient style. Okay, but what we are going to learn in this video is what I'm about to show you. You can get gradient like this, or you can simply use a solid color and then the brush. What do I mean? You just create a rectangle with this so a gradient is filled. Okay, we can just come to the properties, take that gradient away and pick a color, let's say black. Okay, now this is a solid color, and if I pick the brush, okay, and create a new layer like this, so I can pick, you know, a dark gray color. I can increase the brush size and right click and make sure I have soft round brush. Okay, so with this, if I brush over this, you can see I'm brushing on the background and on top of this shape. Okay, so that is when we need a clipping mask. So you just right click on the layer, the new layer, so it should be on top of the solid layer. Okay, you right click on that and create clipping mask. Now everything that we do, it will be in the boundaries of this shape. So yeah, you can see I'm now brushing in the shape. Okay, that is clipping mask. Good. So to get this, no gradient, solid color, clipped in a new layer, and I can pick a color like this, the one that we have here. My flow is at 50. You can control the flow. It is now at 100. Okay, so if I brush in, you can see I'm having gradient. Okay, so if this is too sharp, you can control the flow and then the brush size. Okay, it all depends on you. All right, so that is that. I can delete this and I can change, double click, change the color to, let's say, here. All right, and I can create a new layer with the clipping. You can right click and do what we did, or just hold alt, and between this layer and this layer, when you hover between the line, the cursor will change. When you click, you can clip the new layer in that. And when you hold with the brush, when you hold alt on the keyboard and click, you will sample a color. Okay, and you can of course push it into the brighter parts, and when you have a gradient. Okay, so that's how we add gradients. So these are the techniques that we are going to use. I'm going to mix them in creating these ribbons. Okay, so let's just start. Okay, so I decided to just provide this guideline to help those who are not familiar with the pen tool, okay, to follow the track. All right, so you can find the link in the description. So let's grab the pen tool. Okay, P on the keyboard, and we can zoom in. So we are creating the first one, the top one first. Okay, it is a group. I think this will be a PSD file, just like this, only the outline. So you can turn these guys off. Which one is the top one? All right, so let's have this guy first. Okay, so over here we can follow the path. So you can click once. Okay, come and click here, and then when you click, drag, hold and drag like that, and let it fall on the line. Okay, good. After that, but if you draw and you don't see a color fill, that means over here you are on path. Okay, if I undo these things, let me undo them. If this is set to path, and when I draw, it will be only path. Okay, there is no fill. Okay, and let me undo that. Let's change it to shape. So you can just click here, click and drag, and let it fall on the line. Now we need to curve up here. If we click just like that, it will curve before it goes up. That's not what you want. So you hold alt on the keyboard and you click on the anchor point here to cut the fore handle. So hold alt, click, you will cut it, and you can, let's go up. Okay, and click here and curve like that to fall on the path. Good. Now hold alt again and click to cut the fore handle, and you can join it here. All right, so anytime you draw with the pen tool, in the properties you'll not find something or color change or anything, but if you check up here, you will see fill, you will see stroke. Okay, so we are going for fill. So but this one we are choosing gradient. So normally I just pick the gradient from here. Okay, pick the gradient settings from here, it will be added, and then I just leave this guy and I double click. Okay, so I come here and I just either choose from the preset or create my own. Okay, so with this one I've added it already to speed things up. So with this is the gradient that we are going to use. Okay, 3 color stops. If yours is like this, when you have 2 color stops, you just click here, you add another one. Okay, but I'm just going to insert this one. So if you create your own gradient and you want to save it, you just click new. You can even name it here. When you click new, it will be added, don't worry. So these are the color stops that you need to pick. Okay, so this one, pick the color code, and the middle one, you can pick the color code, and we got this guy, pick the color code. Okay, so click OK after that, and when you get here, we can tweak the angle from here. Sometimes, you know, it makes a lot of changes, because when ribbons curve, there will be shadows and stuff. You get to know when you draw the second one. So you can, for now, we can leave it like this. Okay, we can, okay, let's pick 90. No, let's not pick 90. Let's pick 125. Cool. Click OK. Make sure this is set to linear. Click OK. All right, that is just by the way. Anyway, this guy was added in the group. I don't want it to be in the group, so I'll take it out of the group. So we are going to create the next one. So let's unlock this one. Okay, and let's grab the pen tool. All right, and click here. You can zoom in and click here, and you can come somewhere here. Okay, just to curve it. All right, and then you click somewhere here. Don't worry if it doesn't fall on it, we will tweak it later. Click down here, come and click somewhere here, so that we can get a curve like that. You can click here to curve it. Okay, and click somewhere here to get a curve like that, and close it. All right, if it doesn't fall on it directly, as for you, do it. Make sure it falls on it directly. All right, so this one is also in the group. Let's bring it up. I don't know why I'm keep creating those in the group. All right, and we add gradients. Okay, so let's select the pen tool and come and just pick gradient and click gradient, not gradient. We said gradient. All right, so one thing about ribbon is that, you know, they fold, and when they fold, there will be shadows and highlights at certain places. So let's on the last guy, which is this guy, and when you are drawing behind, you see, you don't have to worry about where to start, because it will be hidden. But what matters most is where they appear from. Okay, they have to be, it has to be precise, because, you know, you can't just, let me turn this guy off. You can't draw or create with a pen tool and let's say you start anywhere under this, and then you just start from here. Okay, it appears from here. You should go behind this. Let me undo that. Okay, you should go behind those two guys. Let me create this. Let me just add new layer. Okay, it can be like this. Okay, and then this guy also come from here, something like this. As for the one behind, it doesn't show, so no, it can't be like this. You see, this is not good. It has to appear from this endpoint and then enter this endpoint, so that it will be like, oh, this is just a real folded ribbon. I hope you get what I mean. All right, so with this guideline, let's on the last guideline, and then let's create that. Okay, so if you check this guideline, you see it enters here and then it appears here. But whatever, where you start from here, it doesn't matter. Okay, you need to start from a place that you can, you know, get it appearing from here easily. So let's turn off this guy, so we can start from here. Okay, and we can of course curve, so you can click somewhere here to curve it like that. Okay, make sure it falls there. If it doesn't, don't worry, we will tweak it. And we can of course enter here. Okay, no, let's not enter there. You can tweak this for handle though. When you hold alt, you click, you can tweak the for handle. Okay, so you can just do something like this. Hold alt click, and we have to zoom in over here. Click, drag to get a curve like that, and we need to let it appear from that area. Okay, so you can just curve it like that. Good. And we close it here, and then we curve it. Okay, so you see it falls outside the path. Don't worry, we are almost done. So let's turn this guy back on, and let's send it below it, and let's send it below these two guys. Okay, and let's hit P for the pen tool so that this will show up, and let's select gradient and then choose our gradient. Okay, so after that we need to have some changes in here. Okay, so let's select this guy that it is outside the line, and use the direct selection tool, A on the keyboard. This is the direct selection tool. Okay, and when you click on an anchor point like this, you see handles will appear, and when you click this, you can push this up just to let it fall on the line. That's just simple as that. And we need to zoom in on the areas that we want to enter directly. So I will go ahead and turn off all the guidelines. All right, and then click this. So we need to tweak this to let it appear from there. Good. So that side is okay, and let's look at here. Okay, so this is cool. So if I click outside, you can see it enters here and then appears from there. Very nice. All right, so now it's time to tweak the angles of these guys. So let's click the top one. Okay, this guy, click the top one and double click the layer thumbnail. So the angle is 125. We made it 125. Okay, so let's toggle it like this, and you can see the brighter part is in the middle. Here is the dark, here is also dark. We can keep this. Let's click OK. Let's click this guy. Now we just want here to be a little bit darker and here to be darker, because they are being folded, so there will be shadows over there. So let's double click this and tweak the angles. When it comes to gradients, these are the most difficult parts. Okay, because if we are using just a solid color and then we are brushing, it will be a lot easier. Let's try that one. So let me copy this color. Okay, if I copy this, we will come back to this, don't worry. If I copy this, and over here I select the pen to come up here, take away the gradient, and then pick a solid color like this. Okay, solid color like this, and I create a new layer, clip it into that, grab the brush. Okay, and I hold alt, sample from the dark tones like that. I can simply add shadows over here. Okay, if I take it to the more darker part, I can add more shadows over there. I can add more shadows here. Okay, that is that. And in the middle part, I can hold alt select so that I will restart and then push to the lighter part. If it is not good, I'll push more to the light. Okay, I have a nice gradient over there. That is how you simply get gradient at angles without tweaking this. So let's use this guy for the next one. So without tweaking it, like double clicking and tweaking the angles to see which part should be, it sometimes become annoying. Anyway, this is cool. Okay, let's maintain this, and you can click here and draw these guys closer. Okay, can click this and draw this guy closer. Cool. So this is our first gradient ribbon. Okay, so that's how we create ribbons. You can use the clipping mask method with a brush. We are going to create another one, and then I'll leave another one for you. You do it, and you can even post it on our Telegram channel. Okay, so we got a nice ribbon here, and let's polish this. Let's make it look better by creating a background color. So let's pick gradient. Okay, and let's click here. Let's choose foreground to background, and or we can simply pick what we just did. Okay, but I will delete one. Okay, I'll delete one and then change it to radial, and I can reverse it, just turn it around. So I can go back. Let's see if I push this guy here, what will happen. Okay, so this is cool. Let me just brighten that up a little. All right. Maybe we can change this. Let's move it into a different color and see. Okay, good. So now you can even bring a product. So let's click this guy, okay, to select the layer, and let's bring this noble guy. Let me zoom in. Okay, all right, so that was cool. You can have something like this, and bringing in shadows can make it something like way more better. What do I mean by that? Let's click the background to select the background and create a new layer. Let's grab the brush. Okay, right click, and you can squeeze it like this. When you squeeze it, let's squeeze again, it becomes this, and you can rotate it up like this. Okay, hit enter, hold alt to sample from the darker parts, make it bigger and a little bit bigger, and when you click, whoa, let's bring the flow to 100 and let's drag it into more let's get more shades. Okay, all right, so it will look like it's touching the wall. All right, something like this, and we can right click again and then change the angle back to this. Okay, hit enter, and let's make it smaller. When we click here, we can add shadows, but I think this is too much, so I will sample from this. Okay, let's push, add more tones in there. Good. So that's just the basics. Okay, I don't know who would need this, but let's quickly jump to the next one. So for the ribbons, they all depend on how you want them to fold. Okay, so you are going to try another one and you can take it from there. So we are going to start with this one. Okay, the one over here. So I'll select the layer outside this group. Who has sent me a message? Oh, okay, so someone just sent me a message saying tell them to subscribe to it. Okay, so someone is saying subscribe to this channel for more videos. I'm not the one saying it. Someone just, you heard the sound, right? Yeah. So grab the pen tool. If you have the pen tool, let's just start anywhere outside here. We can click, okay, and somewhere here we can click and curve. All right, don't drag too far, and you can click here to curve like that. So if you clicked once, okay, let me undo that. If you click once, you don't have to hold alt because you are going to curve over here. You don't have to hold alt, okay, but if you click and you yourself choose to drag and curve it like this, then you have to hold alt and just cut the forehand. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click once and then click here, join it up here. Okay, so we have this. So we are going to change it to black. Okay, you're going to have something like this. All right, now let's go to the next guy. All right, so let's turn the next guideline. Okay, so this, so it should be below it, so let's draw it and we just take it below. So how are we going to, let's select this layer. If it falls in there, no, let's create a new layer on top of this group. Okay, all right, so grab the pen to click here, and you can curve from here. Okay, and then you can of course join it here and just curve down like that. So you know what it is, you just have to let it join down here. We will tweak that later, don't worry. So double click the layer, you can sample from here. Okay, so let's draw. If you check here, you can see there's a space over there, so we can do that later, don't worry. Let's turn on the last guy, this guy, and it should be below. Okay, so let's create a new layer, grab the pen tool, and let's make sure we are coming out of this point. Okay, click there, and this is very simple. You can just curve it from here, okay, and click anywhere down here, click here, click here. Don't worry, it will go behind it, so you can join it from here. Okay, so this color should go behind. So you got this. You can have, let's just change the color so that we know what we are just dealing with. Okay, so this one is darker than this one. Good. So over here we can join it. Select this guy, this gray guy, A on the keyboard. Okay, and when you click anywhere, you can get 4 handles, and you can make sure they just fall over there. So this is cool. All right, so all that I want you to understand in this video is that when it comes to creating these ribbons for, you know, product displays or something, you can use the gradient and you can use the clipping mask and the brush. So let's use the gradient on this one, and then we use the clipping mask on the rest. So the gradient, you can go for the gradient when you draw it like this. If you want to access the gradient, you just, if you can't find it here, select the pen tool and it will show up here. You can create the click this, create a gradient, just as we did. Or you can come to FX, simply come to FX, blending options, and you can add gradient overlay. Okay, so gradient overlay, and you click this, make sure this is set to linear. For now, let's choose the angle to be 90. Okay, click here and you can pick black. Okay, for the left side, the middle part, the location could be 50. Let's make it 50. Okay, and you can pick any gray color or something, and here you can pick black. Okay, just like that. Click OK, and then click OK. So you have gradients for this. Okay, and when we click on this guy, we can then, you know, make it a little bit darker like this. Okay, click OK. Now create, we can use gradient or this method, new layer, right click on the new layer and convert to create clipping mask. All right, okay, grab the brush, and now if yours was looking like the flat one like this, just select the soft round again under the general brushes, hit enter. Okay, so we want the top here to be bright. Okay, down here, and the top here to be brighter. So what do? Just select a color, and then I can just brush the top here. Okay, so you can see here it becomes brighter, and I can increase the brush a little and brush the top here, so it's like it's being folded. Okay, if you want to add more highlights at the top here, you just have to pick more brighter color, and then you can tap on the, you'll create a background, a background color, so that it will pop out. Don't worry about this. Okay, I should have done this even after. So this is it, and now let's select this guy right here, this guy. Okay, let's just change the color to this guy's color. Okay, no, let's make it more darker. Okay, and same method, we can create a new layer and then clip it, hold alt between this, click to clip it, grab your brush. Okay, increase the size. You can of course sample first. Okay, and you just push it to somewhere brighter than the previous one, and you can decrease your brush size, and you can add some stuffs there. So let's create a background. Okay, I'll close this, and let's create a background gradient. Let's choose radial and foreground to background. Okay, so here we can maintain this, but let's change the white to more black or something, and let's brighten this up. Let's push it. Okay, all right, click OK, click OK. Now we are done, but what we can do to, you know, these edges, we can add some shiny stuffs there. Okay, so if we come to the topmost layer and we create a new layer on top like that, we grab the pen tool. Okay, and if we draw along the path again, start outside, click, and we can curve it here. Okay, we can curve it, make sure it falls on the line or the path like that. When you get the first one like this, just hit escape on the keyboard, escape, ESC, all right, and then come up here, click the fill, take it out, okay, and click the stroke and click gradient for the stroke and drop the basis, click foreground to background and click here. So here has to blend, okay, we have to blend both sides or the edges. So here is very dark, so it is white here. We can pick this and make it black, all right, so it disappears in there. And over here, sorry, I added a new color stop, so click this and you can sample from here so you can see it. And now we can add a new one in the middle, and the middle one is where we can brighten it up, okay, so it looks like a sharp edge over there that, you know, reflects light. Okay, I don't know how, but they add some cool effects to that. Trust me, they add some cool effects to that. You can see it sets the guys up around it. So if this is off, you see how it looks. You can turn it back on, and okay, what am I saying? So I got my product up there already, and these crispy lines, you know, adds up a lot into that. Okay, so I want you to try your hands on this. Okay, just create these ribbons over here. Okay, you can add the product, you can choose to ignore, and this one also does cylinder right here and does hollow cylinder at the back. Okay, so if you do, you are getting a big discount on all my products. Okay, whether it's flyer animation tutorial or how to start your YouTube, you know, the starter pack or the flyers, the flyer pack or whatever. Okay, all right, I'm out, and this is graphics today, design chef.